course, Faith Walker, and I'm back with it. I'm back on it, okay? If y'all are new to this channel, welcome. Thank y'all so much for clicking on this video. If you would like to join this journey, because this walk is definitely a journey, okay? Make sure you go ahead and click on that subscribe button and click a like, give this video a thumbs up if you like it. But anyways, let's get to this video. We are gonna be talking about 5 ways on how you can level up in silence, okay? Let's get straight into it. If y'all see me looking over to the right, I do have my journal because I take notes, okay? I don't wanna miss anything, okay? So get your journal, get your pen, get your wine, whatever you gotta get, girl, get it so we can get into it. The first one that we have, you ready? God will always give you signs. He will always give you signs and clues that it's time for you to go, okay? It's time for you to level up. I'm taking you to new places. Let's get it together, okay? I'm gonna give y'all a little story, a little background, right? A little example. My time in college was very hard for me. I remember it was like December, so like winter semester, and I just remember feeling this disconnect. I remember feeling this very heavy, draining, overwhelming spirit. Everyone around me was just, mind you, I was in the same environments with the same people. I was just looking at them a little differently. Like, I started seeing people for who they really were. In the environments that I would be in, I would go in those same environments and just feel just a heavy spirit. Everything that I was doing on a normal, regular day basis was not cutting it for me. It was not feeling good. The same things that I was doing, partying, just to try to hurry up the next morning and make it to class, or I would be skipping class, and these individuals that I would be talking to, I was just starting to see what I was going through for what it truly was. And I remember, in college, winter break for, Christmas or whatever, they make you go home. So I just remember being at home and just feeling very depressed. Like that, in that season, I was just really just going through some dark times. And I just remember, like, at the time I was, friends with this guy. Me and this guy, we started off like romantic. Y'all know what that means. We started off romantic, but it eventually became just like a friendship and a partnership, because me and this individual just so happened to make money together as well. Something happened to this friend. He ended up getting really sick, and of course, me being me, I overly extended myself out. Just to make a long story short, I'll probably do a story time on this, but just to make a long story short, I was in a situation where if I didn't do something to help this person could have died. I was very extremely stressed, and not only, traveling back and forth from family, because at the time my family was also going through things, but this person that I considered my friend was going through something as well, very traumatic. So I'm over here, caring for them, but also trying to care for my family, not even have time to care for myself, which I actually had got really sick. I had got really sick, and it was just a lot. But long story short, that person that I thought was my friend did some really effed up stuff to me. And so that had happened, and I just felt like that was just that situation was just the cherry on top, because prior, the friends that I had met at school were doing the same thing. So it was just a repetitive events where everybody around me was just not showing up for me as the person that I would have shown up for them. That loyalty, that trust, that, kindness, that friendship that I thought that I had with these people, completely out the door, damn near non-existent. And the friends that I had came to school with, we were all going through our different things. So I felt like at the time that they weren't there for me as well. It was just a lot. But after, you know, I came back on campus and I just felt different. Like, I completely cut off everybody. I stopped partying as much as I used to. I ended up quitting the promotion team, just completely cut off everything and was just going to class. But even that it just wasn't working, because I think I actually had started working at this job, this place called Snooze, y'all. I started working there, and everything that I was trying was just not working. So much so to the point where I had to drop out of college. I dropped out of school, and I just remember getting home, like every day that led up to that, mind you, like I didn't have a set date in stone. Like, I was really trying to prolong this situation. Like, if it was up to me, I wouldn't have dropped out of school. I would have kept going. I would have kept pushing myself. But literally everything that I was trying was not working, and it was actually hurting me even more. So I just remember every day leading up to that, I would take like little things and drive all the way. Mind you, if you're not from Houston, you probably won't know this, but if you're from Houston, Texas Southern University is in Third Ward, all the way on the south side. My mom lived at the time in Humble. So I'm driving 30 to 40 minutes, you know, depending on the day, back and forth, not only to work, to school, but to my mother's house, just to get some type of peace of mind. And it was really hard. It was really hard, but I just remember when I finally had everything, like I didn't tell nobody I think I told like my friends at the time, like my childhood friends at the time that, excuse me, y'all, I think I had told them at the time, like I was going back home, but they didn't believe me until they came in my room, in my dorm one day, and everything was empty. So I just remember when I got home just feeling like this overwhelming sense of just peace. Now, mind you, I was still battling things within, but I just felt like I could finally sleep peacefully, if that makes sense. That's just a mere example of how, if you're ever in a situation, if you're in a situation in life where you are trying things from different angles, but nothing is working, God, take those signs as, okay, there is something that God is trying to draw me to. He's trying to draw my attention to somewhere. And even if, like at the time, I didn't know that was going to lead me to drop out of Texas Southern University. And I didn't know that at the time. But now that I look back on it, I realized, for one, you should have never went there in the first place, but you needed to go there, because with me going to college, it taught me a lot, and I went through a lot to be taught a lot. And it also taught me, and with a series of other events, it taught me the value of patience and waiting on God and taking your time, and also not overextending yourself. But that's a whole nother video for another day. All that to say, when something is no longer serving you, God will let you know, your body will let you know, hey, it's time to get up and go. Hey, it's time to try something different. Hey, it's time to go to, bigger levels. So with that, let's go into number 2. Coming in at number 2, I have go ghost. Hold on. And when I mean go ghost, I mean by disattaching yourself, disconnecting yourself from whatever is not serving you your purpose. Because a lot of the times I do feel like in situations, we detach ourselves from things because it seems as if everything is just hard or it's overwhelming. So we cut off all of our existence and we just stop trying. And in those situations, I don't think that you should go ghost. I think you should just look at your situation just in a different lens. A lot of the times it's the enemy that's telling you to back away from your situation so the enemy can come in to steal what God has for you. But in this situation, going ghost, I mean cutting off the supply, as in you, from everything and everyone that doesn't serve you purpose. This means friends. I've had to cut off people that I thought were my friends, family members that were feeding me negativity. I've had to cut off areas only adding to hardship that I didn't even have to go through. Completely went ghost. And in this season, in that time of ghosting, this is where God does his most work on you, because you don't have all of those distractions cutting off your supply from your creator. So a lot of the times, like something that I went through very, very hard when I first started this faith journey, when I first started this faith walk, something that I was praying for so much is to be able to hear the voice and discern the voice of God. I was working at this restaurant. I was working at Fridays, and y'all, very dark season for me, right? I was working as a waitress, and everything was starting off peachy, right? It usually always does. Everything was starting off peachy, but then it just started getting, God was like, all right, tapped me on my shoulder like, hello, hey. Even so much to where I had an encounter with an angel. And I think I may have told this story time. If not, I'll tell it on a different video. But at my job, I had my first encounter with an angel. And it was scary. It was scary. It was very scary. I remember to this day how this man looked, how his eyes looked. I don't remember everything that he told me, but I just remember just the peace, the peace and the comfort that he gave me. To sum it all up, if something is not serving you and it's causing you pain, leave. And at the time, I didn't know that he was talking about my job. My job was causing me so much pain, so much so that even it was not just my relationship was causing me pain, because I was also going through this traumatic experience with a guy that I was talking to at the time. And then friends that just weren't really being friends at the time, and families that wasn't being family at the time. Like, it was just so much. And shortly after that conversation, I quit Fridays. I have to do a story time on this. I would do that in a different video. But after that job, when I quit that job, is when ish got real. Like, God was like, okay, I'm not playing with you. Like, yeah, like, you're going to do this. Like, you're going to come to me. And I did. But with that, I really had to get in a place of solitude. Like, when they say, go in your prayer closet and close your door and be alone with God, he placed me, picked me up and put me in the prayer closet and shut that door on his own and set me down. And sometimes unfortunately, God had to do that, but fortunately, I'm glad that God had to do that. And sometimes that is what it takes. But for you to be able to have enough courage to say, okay, this person is not serving me, so I need to back up and cut off the supply that I am giving to this situation or this person that's not, in return, not pouring into my purpose. That's why we feel drained, and that's why we feel overwhelmed, because we're looking at it as in, okay, well, this is the situation or the job or whatever your circumstances may be that you have, so I am just going to thug it out. But in actuality, half of the time the things that we go through, or just the heartache and pain that we went through or gone through or going through, we didn't even have to go through that. We just be, as humans, humaning, choosing just the hard way. In actuality, when we're in it, we're not thinking that we're choosing the hard way. We're just doing what we want to do. Instead of actually tuning in with our body and our spirit and the creator, and hey, God, I need your help with this. Which route should I go? But even with that, it takes silencing. You have to silence everything around you that is just feeding you opposite of what God is telling you to do. And at the time, that's what was going on, and that's what I had to do. And going ghost will serve you so many positive benefits if you would just allow the process to create something beautiful in you and around you. If you would just allow the process and the journey to start. And I know at the time it may seem scary, or you might not want to do it because you may be scared to be alone. I know for me personally at the time, I'm like, dang God, like I don't want to cut off my friends. Like I love them. Like we've been cool since we were young. We were in middle school. I'm like, dang God, like I don't want to have to do that to them. And God sat down with me and he told me it's not necessarily you cut him off. The love is still there. But as far as growth, I am taking you somewhere else, and I need you to focus. I need you to be here with me. And I know that if you continue to indulge in this friendship in the way that you have, you're not going to fully give yourself to me. You're not going to fully drop the things that I am telling you to drop, because every time you link up with these people, you're gonna be like, oh, it's okay. Oh, da 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 da. You're gonna just completely dismiss everything that I sat down with you for an hour, 2 hours, and told you, hey, this is not you. This is not your identity. This is not something that I've placed in a part of you. But you know what? Since I love you so much, I'm gonna show you a better way. And it was hard. Ghosting is never something that's easy, but it's necessary. So with that, we're gonna go into number 3, which is, which is put a star on this one, okay? Keep all your personal business private, okay? Keep that on hush, okay? And what I mean by personal business is the goals that you want to accomplish, your dreams, everything that God has spoken to you. Keep your goals private until you accomplish them. And the reason why I say this is because we have this thing called monitoring spirits in this world, where unfortunately the enemy uses people around us to get information out of us. So, you know, like I said, the enemy can steal your glory. The enemy can steal your purpose. The enemy can kind of beat you to it. Even though the end goal God will always get the glory. God will always have the victory, which means you will always get the glory, and you will always live in that glory, and you will always be victorious. But just to go back to what I said, sometimes we create unnecessary hardship. And one of those things that I have found that I used to do a lot, and sometimes I catch myself doing it, is telling people things that I am working on, A, either too early, or B, telling it to the wrong person. Let's talk on B real quick. Let's talk on B. Telling it to the wrong person. It will be the people closest to you that don't want you to succeed. It will be your closest friend that low-key secretly envy you. It will be when you are in a period of ignorance, when you are in a period of being naive, when you are in a period of wondering. And at the time, I was. Either I'm telling you for you to give me that congratulations that I want to hear, which is normal, or it's just me telling you so you can give me some advice. But unfortunately, I've had a lot of situations where I'm telling a friend or I'm telling a family member, hey, this is something that I'm working on, and in return is, oh, I don't think you should do that. Or, you sure you want to do that? I don't really see that. Oh, no. A lot of negativity or judgment, and not even paying attention to that judgment or that negativity, or just based off of that short conversation, I have allowed whatever they said to come into my mind, come into my heart, to now I'm starting to believe what they are saying. The first sin, right? Now I'm starting to believe what they are saying, and it is affecting the way that I show up for myself according to that goal. How I show up for that goal, how I put in effort or work for that goal, just based off of a little piece of a conversation that someone that I call friend or I call family spoke to me. So we have to be careful who we're telling our goals to, because they might not know it at the time, but the enemy may be working through you. The enemy may be speaking through you to get to me. So in order to protect myself, my dreams, and my goals, I'm not going to share with you everything. Even if you want to test the waters a little bit, which I would say, just based off experience, pray before you do these things. Like, unfortunately, I would have situations with my mother where I would want to tell her something because, me thinking like, hey, my mother is supposed to be my biggest supporter. But a lot of the times I have told her things and she was my biggest hater. Like, not gonna lie. But she may not have known it at the time, but the enemy was using her a lot of times to get to me. And now that I'm older and I've went through that, I have to protect myself when it comes to telling her things, because I know the impact she has on me because she is my mother, and I have this thing as her child that I expect something that I usually don't get from her. And with that, you have to protect yourself. Even when it comes to friends, you have to protect yourself. Lovers, you have to protect yourself. Co-workers, you have to protect yourself in general. When you are going through a level up process, when God is bringing you into new territory, you have to protect yourself and allow God to place discernment into your mind, your spirit, and your heart, so that you can discern when you are having conversations with people or asking God. I even find myself sometimes asking God, should I tell her this? And he'll let me know. And then sometimes I either tell her and I'll be like, that's why. That was the feeling that I got when I asked God initially, should I tell her this? I should have listened to that feeling. But hey, it happens. Protect yourself. And also, to get to point A, monitoring spirits, the enemy will send people to, if you have someone in your life and you are going through a transition, you are going through a level up process, and it's a difference between someone that is praying for you and praying on you. And the people that are praying on you is the people that you have to ask God for wisdom to discern for, because those people are like the snake in the garden, for sure. Those people are like the snake in the garden, and you have to stay prayed up, and you have to use wisdom. You have to use your discernment, the power of discernment that you possess, before you go to these people, or when them people come to you and start asking you questions, trying to pry into your business, trying to get into your business. You have to know, you got to know how to, deal with those conversations, because I've had many of times where people around me were being used by the enemy, and it sucks. It sucks because it's like, damn, it's like, I didn't know I was a spy. Like, I gotta be creeping and ducking this stuff when I'm having conversations with people. Like, it's crazy, but this is the world that we live in. This is the fight that God has already won, but we're just showing up as his soldiers so that we can get those downloads, so that we can receive those downloads on how to show up in this world, right? So with that, let's go straight into number 4, which is, in the time of leveling up in silence, still move, still work. And the reason why I say that, For an example, in the Bible, when Esther had to prepare herself before the king, a process of beautification, right? She had to get herself together so that she can show up as the person that who God needed her to be at that exact moment. You are in that journey of leveling up. It will be a period of time where you will start to, God will start to change some things in you and on you, and you will start to see the change. In order for God to use you in those rooms and that realm that He has called you to, you have to show up as the person that He needs you to be. He got to be able to use you. So however that may look, you have to work through it and you have to work for it. Show up as the best person that you can be for yourself in order to accomplish that goal. That is how you get the ultimate level up. That is how you get the ultimate results to your level up. By showing up for yourself in whatever aspect that is necessary in order to complete that goal, okay? God cannot use you if you're sitting on a bench, okay? He needs a player that is ready. In order to be a player that is ready, you gotta get up and you gotta get to it. And in order for you to be the best representation in those places, you can't be doing the same things that you're used to doing. Sometimes you gotta get uncomfortable sometimes you gotta get uncomfortable to accomplish that goal. Like comfort is gonna have you sitting on a couch, looking at time and your days go by, wondering why you didn't accomplish that goal when you had the opportunity to. When all you have to do is make that switch and decide for yourself that I am going to do whatever it takes to accomplish this goal. And that is how you show up to be your best player. That is how you show up and receive everything that God has for you, okay? So with that, we're gonna end off with number 5. Number 5 is delay gratification. And the reason why I say delaying your gratification is because when you are in a process of leveling up, you're gonna have so many different things that God is pruning or God is working through, working on, and all of that takes time. Now, when I say delay gratification, I'm not saying forget to pat yourself on the back. No, never forget to pat yourself on the back. Never forget to say congratulations. Even if you don't hear from nobody else, tell it to yourself. Say it to yourself. Congratulations. Thank God you accomplished this major or little aspect that you have been working so hard for. Even the most little things, don't treat it as little things. Treat it as big things. But when I say delay gratification, wait to party. Wait to throw that party. Wait to tell people about your big successes until God is completely finished. Like even with this apartment, when I got approved for this apartment and I found out that I was moving out, I didn't want to tell anybody. I didn't even want to tell my mama because I knew that I knew what that was going to come with. But I actually ended up telling my mom because I'm like, dang, I kind of need help with a little thing, so let me tell her. And which we're good now. But anyways, when it comes to big things, you have to be careful with those big things. You have to treat those big things like it's a baby, okay? Because it's so precious and it's so fragile. And even though it will happen, but sometimes like I said, sometimes we create unnecessary hardships, and sometimes we prolong our situation because we don't give God enough time to cook, okay? We gotta let God cook. And we need time to prepare, okay? So with that, wait till you have that party. Wait till you throw that dinner. Wait to take yourself out to that extravagant, fancy 5-star restaurant that you have been saying, okay, when I accomplish this, I'm gonna take myself out. Oh, I'm gonna buy me them Louboutins. Wait for that, okay? Wait until you're completely living, breathing, walking in that dream, in that goal that God is like, go ahead and check that off. God is like, all right, yeah, go ahead and check that off. Yeah, now you have time to party. Yeah, now you can tell people. Yeah, it's okay to delay gratification. And in actuality, it's the best method to success. All of these 5 steps is the best method to succeed in whatever it is that you are struggling in, whatever goal that you are trying to accomplish. Number one, when God gives you signs that it's time to go, leave. From number two, going ghost. From number three, keep all of your personal business private. Number four, even in that time of silence and elevation, still move. And number five, delaying gratification are all ways that you will and can succeed in your leveling up process, okay? Take what you feel is meant for you and leave whatever is not. But I really hope this video helped each and every person out there. I know even when you're in it, it may seem like it's impossible and things are just happening left or right and you just can't keep up. I'm here to tell you that not only that it can get better, but it will get better. Sometimes all you need is just a mind shift. All you need is just a change of tone and change how you're showing up for yourself, because you are your biggest player. Be your biggest player. Be your best representation. With that, we're gonna end the video here, and like I said, thank you for listening to this video. If you have made it to this video, leave something in the comments down below. Leave like a heart or something, or a check mark, I don't know. But make sure you leave a thumbs up on this video if you liked. Make sure you subscribe if you want to join this faith walk, honey, and I will see y'all in the next video. Bye.